back to another episode of Coffee with the Critters, where I live stream every Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And my name's Laura Joseph, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. We're an international educational center where we teach people all over the world how to better the lives of our animals through knowing and doing better with the science of behavior known as applied behavior analysis. You can find out more about our website right there. Also, that's where you'll find our online memberships. You can also contact me at any time at Laura, Lara, at theanimalbehaviorcenter.com. So last week we had a guest on. No, we didn't. That was the week before. I'm sorry. This week we have Dr. Jason Crean with, I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. He is a colleague and that has turned into a friend over years of working together. So Jason is a biologist. He's also founder of Biodiversity Blends. And he's an avian nutrition specialist. I know I consult with Jason quite a bit, not only with the birds in my care, but you have helped me improve the quality of the nutrition with numerous different species that I work with. So, Jason, do you want to maybe mention a little bit about yourself?
Okay, thanks for having me back, Laura. My name is Jason Crean. I am a biologist. I teach animal nutrition, zoo biology, among other courses. I've had you in some of those courses as a guest lecturer at the university, which has always been really valuable, and you've stimulated students to go into work like this, whether it's zookeeping or, specifically behavior and training. So our partnership goes back a long ways, I guess
I
you
don't
could
even
say.
know how many years.
Um, and it's difficult to partner and with trust, but Lara is one of those few people that I can explicitly trust and partner with, because we have the very same goals in mind, and that's to enhance the welfare of birds and animals really everywhere. We got to get rid of the boredom, and a lot of that comes through foraging and enrichment. So Laura and I talk a lot about that, and that's how biodiversity bird blends actually started. Was, we've got to get away from this one size fits all diet and give birds an opportunity to forage like they are wired to do. We can't unwire that. We can't de-evolve birds to do that. So Laura and I talk a lot about ideas and how to continue to keep animals engaged with their environment.
Yes, and I think we first met probably 12 years ago, and since then, I would say over the past 5 years, 5 years, you and I have been talking a lot behind the scenes. I know we've been working on several things, one in particular over the past year, which I'm going to ask you where you are sitting at right now. But before we discuss that, I know a lot of my travel recently has been flying to Orlando. One of the things we have started and created together is the Enrichment Science podcast, which there are currently 2 episodes out. And both of those have been made available to the public because they both contain important information that we felt everybody needs to know. I know this all episodes are going to be in your Team Thrive and in my Parrot project. We're going to take a few of those, give those to the public or other. I know a couple of my other memberships that focus on more than birds. Did you want to say anything else about the Enrichment Science podcast, Jason, before we move to where you're sitting?
It's it's as enriching for us to do as it is to share enrichment with you and your birds. I think that us thinking of things, these ideas, and sharing them out, while focusing on the natural history of the animals that we keep, and really keeping that in mind that these animals are not people. They've evolved for millions of years to do things in the wild, and we need to replicate and mimic those things. And so we're really focused on the biology of these animals and how we can capitalize on that to keep their lives enriched.
Yes, and this is causing us to meet every week, and we're constant. I mean, now I'm driving around town constantly thinking about next topic. Oh, we need to put this in another episode. So yeah, the last time I landed from visiting you, as soon as I landed, I text you at 7 p.m. and you're like, all right, let's keep this motivation going. And I was just like, we haven't even got off the plane yet.
Yeah, well, we're both really busy, and so we have to make sure that we build things into our schedule that are important. But what typically rises to the surface are those drudging things that we don't want to have to do. This is something that's interesting and helpful to us and everybody else. So we just got to make sure we stay on task.
Yep. Yep. And why don't we next talk before we make it another announcement after that announcement? And then we're going to take this announcement. Then we're going to announce another announcement. Why don't you tell everybody where you are sitting?
So we haven't told anybody this, so this is the first time we're saying it out loud. But Biodiversity Bird Blends Shop and Avian Education Center is moving to a new, larger location. And the main reason that we're moving is because we found a place with a dedicated education space. So I'm sitting in that space right now. You can see we have parrot and toucan posters behind us with pretty much all of the species that are kept in managed situations like our homes. But we have this space, we have the ability to extend into the retail space where the shop is, to have additional sessions or workshops for larger groups of people. But that was when I walked into this place and saw this space, I was like, this is it, because education has to be at the forefront. And so I wanted to have a space where we could hold workshops. Laura and I have been talking about this for a long time, partnering and having Laura down here. Like, I have been on her to be down here, to have a presence, a more permanent presence, a more regular presence where we can hold workshops both in person and online from this space, and do just amazing things. So that's where I'm at right now. This new space will be open hopefully by Thanksgiving. That's what our goal is. And then we'll start to transition out of the smaller space that we outgrew very, very quickly. Thanks to all of you and your excitement about Biodiversity Bird Blends, which, that grew out of necessity. There just wasn't, we're formulating things that just aren't available elsewhere. And it's really been encouraging for me to see everybody's enthusiasm and their birds' enthusiasm with the stuff that we're producing. So we're now in a bigger space, and it has this education center.
And I was lucky enough, well, I don't know if it calls lucky. I was coming whether you wanted me to or not, to be there for the grand opening of your last location, which was beautiful. And I know we've been talking over the past year, how fast Biodiversity Bird Blends is growing. There's been a lot of recent changes in my business. And I was excited to be down there. The last time I was down there, you gave me a tour of this building. It's large, it's beautiful. We talked about its functionality, for upcoming workshops, educating the public, different things we can do. The room that you're sitting in has changed so much since I've been down there last month that I can't wait to get back down there. But with that being said, I am going to be back down there. I know we had discussed me coming down. Right now, it's once every 2 months. Hopefully soon, it's going to be once a month once every 2 weeks. So we're excited for our next announcement. Um, and that is we have um, already started a link, a date, a time, a topic for our first workshop. And I was thinking yesterday, when is the last time I have presented or spoke in Florida? I don't think I've ever spoken in the or gave a workshop or a presentation in the Orlando area. I know I have in the Panama City area, but that was a long time ago. That was right when I was starting to give workshops. So Dr. Jason Crean and I are excited to be presenting our first workshop here in the new location, Enriching Avian Welfare Through Foraging. And you and I we talked about this during the podcast the last time I was down there, how important it is to have the word science in here. And you and I have had many deep discussions about this. So when we started this live stream today, we were both kind of talking about how important foraging is, how important enrichment is. Foraging is a lot of a part of our enrichment here with the animals. And a couple of different topics that, I mean, this is going to be a workshop. Let's see, I need to put the link in here. See if I do this correctly. Will you guys let me know if that link shows up? Um, some we're going to keep this. We're going to keep this workshop um, smaller in attendance. So Dr. Jason Crean and I can give you personalized attention. What are you laughing about?
You can just say Jason. It's okay.
I'm like, what did I do now? Okay, Jason.
I have to hear
Um,
Dr. Crean, Dr. Crean from my students all the time, so just Jason's great.
so I just posted the link. I don't know if there's a lag. If not, if it doesn't end up showing up, I will show it as soon as this live stream is over. But registration, okay, Lisa says it's there. Registration is open as of right now. Um, so seating is going to be limited. So Jason and I can give each attendee very individualized attention. Um, and I love the fact that when we were talking the other day, Jason, that you said, I don't want to cram a bunch of people in here. It's really important to be able to address the individual situations. So, I mean, some of the topics that we're going to talk about are choice, control, complexity, shaping enrichment, shaping complexity, getting the birds starting to forage for food that are not foraging. I have some of the birds under my care that came to me a lot older, not knowing where to begin foraging. I'm going to share that with you. We're going to be talking about monitoring and adjusting for effectiveness. We are going to be discussing different cases where enrichment, how we've used enrichment in our behavior modification. We're going to have a lot of engagement, Q&As. We're going to answer your questions. And we're even going to make a toy where you can make to take home. And I've got that particular toy. I came home with it, that foraging toy that I came home from Florida with the last time, and I've implemented it with 2 of my 4 birds under my direct care right now, and they went right for it. So we'll show how to design enrichment for all size birds, all different backgrounds. Jason, do you want to mention anything about the
Yeah, I'll be talking about foraging, what birds do in the wild, and how we need to pay attention to that when we're thinking about biologically appropriate foraging opportunities. Nutrition, what should they be foraging for, and that type of thing. But also the foraging pack that you'll be using, the pieces that you'll be using to assemble this foraging device are made of natural materials. So these are naturally occurring pods you can't get anyplace else. I work tirelessly, and Laura has been to the shop. She has seen all these things. I work tirelessly to find things that no one else is offering, and they're natural products. And by natural, I mean they're naturally occurring pods and things like that that we can use to help birds um, forage the way that they're wired to do and keep them engaged longer. So I avoid plastics. Microplastics are that's a whole lecture that I won't go into right now. But like avoiding plastics and other things that are synthetic and really focusing on natural products is where it's at. So that's part of what you will be doing is using those products to put together this foraging device.
Mhm. And, one of my attractions to parrots, period, I mean, I enjoy working with all animals. I like seeing animals extremely empowered. One of my attractions to the parrot species is the fact that, how active they can be, and I always tell people, the smarter the animal, the harder it is to take care of. Um, that is the parrot. And I use foraging in all of my behavior modification plans with every single species. I don't care if it's lemur, I don't care if it's parrot, I don't care what species of animal it is. I want all of these animals foraging for their food um, because not only does it keep them mentally and physically engaged, but it keeps them learning. Um, they manipulate the object, and manipulation is a form of the animal learning how to change the environment to continue learning from each time that animal interacts with it. Um,
And let me say, foraging, like if we're looking at the science of foraging, most animals spend more than 50% of their day foraging. And then we bring them into our managed situations, right? Zoos or homes or whatever, wherever they may be. And then we take that away from them. And by giving them like a one size fits all diet, they can eat everything they need, and then they're done after minutes when they are wired to spend hours a day foraging. So we're going to have Dr. Evie Voltura as part of our collaboration at an event early next year. And her paper that she published this year, I think it was this either last year or this year. I think it's this year. She keeps correcting me, and I don't remember which way it is now. But that paper showed that the percentage of what research has told us about parrots, for example, and how much time they spend foraging. And so we need. I mean, that is, and there's no cutting corners. We have to get the birds foraging. We have to give them challenges every day. We have to keep that smooth brain with no wrinkles active and engaged with their environment because that's what they're wired to do. You can't undo that. And so lots of people have tried to do things to keep them happy by putting band-aids on this type of thing. But we have to approach it holistically. We have to say, what is their life like? And how do we replicate and mimic that in our homes or zoos or wherever we're keeping these animals?
Yes, and that leads me to one of your several products, the Go Wild. I know it's a favorite here with all the birds I have here. It's just there's so much variety in one package of your Go Wild. Do you want to mention anything about that
Well,
before?
yeah, Go Wild is that came out of me talking to people like Bonnie Zimmerman from the Indonesian Parrot Project and learning about what birds are actually eating in the wild. And I decided I'm going to start doing some research to see how I can bring those to people here. And it is expensive and it is time consuming and it is labor intensive, but it's so worth it. When the first time I saw Sirius, my black pound cockatoo, pick up a rattan nut, it was like he's been eating these his whole life, and that is a natural food for them in the wild. And I was like, they know, like they're adapted to see these things as food. So we started. I started sourcing these things from all over the world and bringing them and putting them together. We have an Australian Go Wild. We call it Go Wild Down Under. That has eucalyptus pods and casuarina pods and Australian pine needles and all kinds of things that these birds are literally consuming in the wild. And now we can bring that, to people. And some of the Go Wild mixes, they have plantain leaf and eucalyptus leaf and papaya leaf and things like that. Because in Evie's work, she's found almost 3/4 of parrots have been observed eating leaves. So we're, bringing that as part of the mix. Different types of nuts, like ketapang nuts and penang nuts from Indonesia and things like that. So, when we're doing these things for Go Wild, we're trying to figure out, like, what are these animals eating? What does science tell us, and how can we bring that, put that into an easy to offer product?
Yeah, and I wanna touch on one more thing before we end, Jason. It's based on what Lisa just said about being amazed when I showed the photos of all the food that I put together. And Lisa, this is what Jason and I do when I come down there. That last trip down there, I think I was there for 3 days, and we were go, go, go. We're up first thing in the morning, and I'm, recording what you're doing because you have a wide variety of species of, birds that you care for there, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" I'm like, "We need to document this. We need to record this. We need to share this," and I came home and shared one of how many videos did we do while we were down there? The ones in your store. We were going nonstop from 8 in the morning, and then we got back to your office, and we were still sitting there at 11 at night doing research online together. And this excites the hell out of me because Jason, I mean, a couple of speakers that my mind is just blown when I listen to you talk, when I listen to Dr. Karen Becker talk. But just sitting there and I'm like, I have you standing right beside me telling me all this information. So before we wrap up, and based on what Lisa just said on those photos that I posted on my social media account the other day, can't you said something to me about the sprouts the last time I was down there, and, the what is it called? The green forage, the components in the green forage, mix those in with the sprouts.
Mhm.
They, you say it because I'll screw it up.
Yeah, the green forage I formulated for a bunch of different reasons, but one of them was that it has components in it, whole food components that are antifungal, antimicrobial. And so, some people on here may have alcohol allergies where they can't use hand sanitizer, for example, so they can buy a non-alcoholic hand sanitizer, and that uses usually carvacrol and thymol. And carvacrol is in oregano, and thymol is in thyme. That's where it gets its name. And those are two antifungal compounds that are found in those foods. And so a problem often is soggy sprouts. And people, I can tell people are like, how do you get rid of all this moisture in the sprouts? And so I always add a dry component to my sprouts when they're done, and that's green forage. Green forage is dried greens, it absorbs the moisture, but it also coats the sprouts and keeps them fresher because it has oregano, it has thyme, it has other components in it that all, keep fungus and all that stuff at bay. So, and you've seen my sprouts. I sprout once a week, and I keep it in a sealed container mixed in with the green forage, and it smells just as good the seventh day as it does the first day. So, I've run bacterial plates on different things before in my lab and things like that. So I know that there's a lot of fear mongering out there saying, "Oh, all sprouts have bacteria. All sprouts have this." But we need to stop fearing food. And this is one way that you can have some peace of mind, but also adding added nutrition to your sprouts, because when they're eating the sprouts, they're eating the green forage that's stuck to them. And so they're getting those herbs and everything. So it's just, it's easy. This is easy stuff to do, but it also increases the diversity of what you're offering, but at the same time, keeping your food fresher.
And everyone, this is just a sample of what you will learn in this upcoming foraging workshops. And we're already talking about even more events. Like Jason mentions, stay tuned to the beginning of the year. Um,
Keep February open. You're going to want to come to. You're probably going to want to come to Orlando in February.
yes, yes. Okay, with that said, is there anything else we want to mention before closing, Jason?
No, I haven't been able to keep up with all the comments, but I do want to say thank you all for those supportive comments that you've posted. I really appreciate the support. For those of you that know me, know that my life's goal is to keep our birds happy, content, and that's why we get along so well, Laura, because that's what we want. Is to it's enriching for us to see our animals enriched, and so you know it's easy to do. This stuff does not have to be rocket science. It does not have to be super expensive. There's plenty at the grocery store that you can capitalize on. But we'll be offering courses over the next year that will help you with all of that. So
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, Jason, thank you for coming on and sharing all of these announcements with the public. I'm excited, and I'm excited to be in Orlando a lot and seeing all of this, because we've talked about this for years, and just seeing it all coming together. So, with that being said, anything else you want to say before we end? I think you just did.
yep, I did.
Oh,
I said what I think I said it all.
I
It's
love
Sunday
you.
morning and it's daylight savings, so I'm just my super chiasmatic nucleus in my head is like, what time is it? What's going on? So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
mine too, whatever you just said.
yes.
Okay, with that being said, we'll go ahead and end here. I just wanted to mention I've got a presentation I'm giving this afternoon at 2 p.m. There is the link. Also, if you want to take a look at more of the information that we have to offer, you can take a look at my website. You can also take a look at Dr. Jason Crean's website for upcoming events. And with that, I want to say thank you, everybody. We're getting a lot of great feedback. So as soon as this live stream is over, I'm going to go in and respond to all the comments. So thank you, Jason. I
Thank
will
you.
see you in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
All right. Take care, everybody.